procedural nature of today. I'm under the advice of the attorney, and we've prepared a statement together to protect myself, to protect the commission, to protect the city's interests. So please forgive me for reading the formal statement. I would also offer to the public and the rest of the commission that I have been aware of the situation I'm about to speak to you about since the wee hours of this morning around 3:30. I have been speaking with our acting police chief, Ricky Ramey, since that time, off and on. I've also been conferring with our city attorney, and I've also spoken with Sheriff Tommy Ford. And so I'm not just finding this out. I've just been traveling today from the city of Jacksonville, and have been working. We had to give notice for this meeting, so there was no intent for this to be secretive. It's just a matter of our trying to follow the proper protocol. I would remind the public that there will be a regular meeting held on Tuesday, March 19th, which I invite the public to attend. That will be at 4 p.m. at Lynn Haven Elementary School. The reason I've called this special meeting is that in the last few hours, I've been aware of very serious allegations of criminal conduct unrelated to the business or operation of the city by Mr. Michael White. It is my understanding that Mr. White has been accused of committing a crime in violation of the laws of the state. Because of the nature of the allegations being levied against Mr. White, I believe, to the other members of the commission, I believe that it would be appropriate to suspend Mr. White indefinitely pending the outcome of an investigation by the appropriate authorities in the criminal justice system, as well as that of the city of Lynn Haven. While the allegations of criminal conduct being made against Mr. White are not related to his role with the city at this time, the city attorney and I would like to caution the commission from addressing the specific allegations being made against Mr. White at this time. I would also add, however, that the news media at this time has now published within the last hour the police report and on social media, so it is available for the public to read. At this time, I would like to ask for a motion from the commission to suspend Mr. White indefinitely from his position as the city manager of Lynn Haven.
Here, I will make a motion to suspend Michael White pending the outcome of this investigation, but I will not do it indefinitely.
The way I worded this was, I believe that it would be appropriate to suspend Mr. White indefinitely pending the outcome of an investigation, is the way it was worded. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And the wording of this is based on my advice from our city attorney. I will remind everyone. So I have a motion.
Second.
And I have a second. Mr. Barnes, I didn't ask if you could hear what we're saying. Can you hear okay?
Yes, I can. That suspension, will that be with or without pay?
That would be at the pleasure of the commission.
It needs to be on the motion.
Will you need to amend the motion?
Well, the motion on the floor is for Mr. Russell. You could suggest an amendment and he could either accept or reject.
How about I withdraw my motion?
Okay, Commissioner Russell has withdrawn his motion. Would you like to make a different motion, Commissioner Barnes? I'm sorry.
Yes, I would. I'd like to make a motion that we suspend him with pay until such time the investigation has been completed and the city commission has been given a proper report in order to make a final decision.
I would second that motion.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion from the commission? Thank you. At this time, I would ask the city attorney to please call the roll.
Commissioner Tender?
Yes.
Commissioner Russell?
Yes.
Commissioner Barnes?
Aye.
Commissioner Friend?
Yes.
Mayor Anderson?
Yes. In light of the suspension of Mr. White with pay, I believe that naming a temporary replacement for Mr. White is necessary, and I would suggest, and I have conferred with city attorney before I suggest that the city commission consider for the next 7 to 10 days entrusting me once again with a dual role of mayor and city manager. While I certainly understand that this may be unusual under the current circumstances, 5 months removed from one of the most devastating storms in our history, our infrastructure being severely damaged, and the enhanced need to ensure a smooth operation of our municipal government, I have the institutional knowledge to steer the city and have done so for several weeks in the aftermath of Hurricane Michael. During this time period, I would ask that the city make a diligent search and identify a temporary replacement of Mr. White pending the conclusion of the investigation of this matter by all appropriate authorities. Would I have a motion, or do I have a different, discussion?
Mayor, if I may
Madam
just.
Mayor,
I have Mr. Russell first, and then I'll notify Mr. Holmes.
Mayor, I'd like to suggest that, in light of us suspending the city manager, that we don't make any more actions until Tuesday's commission meeting. The city can run for 2 days without us making a decision now on who's gonna run the city. Let it run on cruise control and give us 2 days to figure out what needs to be done. Each of us need to look at who the possible people that we may take, you know, and maybe we can come up with a solution in 2 days, maybe we can't, but at that time, Tuesday, if it's still necessary, then we could make you the head of the city.
And I wasn't, and if I may answer that, I certainly was not asking to be made the head of the city. I was asking for the next 7 to 10 days. The city would need some sort of, I'm sure that tomorrow morning, coming to work is going to be very difficult for these department managers and the others, and they would need someone to do a facilitation of a meeting, not someone to interfere with the daily operation of what they're doing, just someone to be there to facilitate. If you recall, after the hurricane, I think what I said was everyone just continue doing those things that you always do and inform me so that I could inform the commission, because without having someone at that department meeting or without having someone to know what's going on, there's not a liaison for the commission, because we can't all be there together. We'd be operating out of the sunshine. So, I would hope that you might possibly reconsider that.
Mayor, I would like to say something with regards to that.
I recognize you, Commissioner Barnes.
I would be, I'm sorry.
I was recognizing you to say something.
Oh, okay, thank you. I would be concerned about the dual office, being held should you accept the position. However, there are mechanisms in place for cities to take, actions whenever these types of events occur. And one of those events, contact the Florida City to make contact with the International Association of City and County Managers. They have associations where we can request, a city manager to come in, to oversee the day-to-day operations of the city.
And Commissioner Barnes, if I may interrupt, I am well aware of all those things that are in place, and that would be something that we could discuss at length at the Tuesday meeting, which is only 48 hours from now. With all due respect, Commissioner Barnes, after Hurricane Michael, when I was the person who was making the decisions for the city and working in close tandem with the city manager, you were absent, sir. You did not show your
Yes,
face.
ma'am.
You did not, excuse me, you're out of order. Excuse me, you're out of order.
With all due respect, again,
Excuse me, you're out of order.
Because here you go, you know.
Commissioner Barnes, you are out of order. I'm going to say this one more time. Commissioner Barnes, you have instructed the city deputy clerk that you had not planned to attend another commission meeting until your tenure was out. Is that not correct? He's hung up the phone. I apologize that we had to go there in the midst of this as well. I do apologize. Mr. City Attorney, we do still have enough commission members sitting here to continue.
Mayor continues to exist.
Okay. Commissioner Russell, back to your comment, it is certainly not my intent to cause more dissension in the middle of this. It is my intent that this city would run smoothly. I also have a friendship with Mr. White. We've worked very closely together. This is very difficult for me, as it is for everyone in this room. And with all due respect, I know that you also have a close friendship with Mr. White. But at this moment in time, for 48 hours, the city has to have someone that the department heads can contact if they need to be able to speak for them to the commission. And I am asking the commission to consider, in light of how the city was run after the storm, I know that every decision was not perfect, every decision was probably not agreed upon, but our city did move forward, and we moved forward in a very positive way. I would do nothing to make a decision without coming before this commission or calling another special meeting if necessary. But our employees right now, I'm looking at our department heads' faces. They are devastated by this. No one was expecting this. They were blindsided, and they at least need to have a contact person to the commission. So with that, that, I'll not argue it again. If you, three of you feel that we should go another path, I won't say anything else.
If I may, Mayor, without a doubt, I applaud what you did after the hurricane. No doubt you were an amazing mayor at that time. I don't think we're at that point now, and I think 48 hours won't hurt this city to work, to operate without a head. That being said, I think there still needs to be a separation between the political body of the city and the administrative side of the city. With you operating both, there's no separation. Secondly, if you meet with the city manager or the department heads, you can't come back and talk to this commission unless we're at a stated meeting, because that violates the sunshine law.
Which would be Tuesday.
Right, and that's my argument, is that it won't hurt to wait till Tuesday to make a decision. That's my opinion, and I'm only one of four on here, man.
Okay.
And I apologize if that offends you, but that's just my feeling.
I'm not offended. I think that possibly friendship has entered in.
No, ma'am,
That's my
no,
opinion.
ma'am, I can assure you, friendship is the farthest thing in my decision making here.
Okay.
Because there would have been other aspects of this would have never happened if it would have been because of our friendship with Michael. So.
And there, okay, I will leave it there. Is there anyone else who would like to say something?
Yes, Mayor, I'd like to speak.
Go ahead, please.
I do feel that it's important that our department heads have somebody to go to on Monday and Tuesday before 4 o'clock. And I'm personally all in favor of you answering their questions and being someone that they can come to. And then it can be discussed, like you said, again on Tuesday.
Anyone else? Commissioner Friend?
Thank you, Mayor. I think we can wait till Tuesday. I think we have strong department heads. I think they're all very aware of the situation. I think they can operate on their own, and I think we can wait till Tuesday. I think I can speak for myself. I think I have a pretty good relationship with the department heads. If they feel like they want to speak with me, I'm always available. I think they know that. I would never circumvent our city manager, but I'm always available. And I'd like to go ahead and mention that I think by waiting till Tuesday, and I'll just, say it now, is I'd like for us to reach out to Jay Moody, and see if he will allow, or does he have time, in the interim to spend more time with the city. I think that having a strong financial background is gonna be very, very important for the city going forward. So I would just go ahead and say that now, and hopefully we can reach out to him before Tuesday and talk to him about that.
I've already reached out. I have not spoken with him in person, but I've already reached out in lieu of the conversations we've had today, because there's more information that is going to be coming forward, and I'll leave it right there. But again, I'm just telling you that I think that there needs to be a meeting tomorrow. I have been very closely working with Jay Moody, with the others, with the FEMA coordinator, and with our uploading and all of the information. And it's very crucial, in my opinion, that I continue doing that. I've been doing that with Mr. White. I think your city employees that are in the administrative building will tell you that I'm a daily presence there. I have been since the storm. I have not tried to in any way micromanage, but there were decisions made after the storm that I was a part of that I feel, and not only do I feel, but it is necessary that I continue to monitor that because of some of the things that are about to come forward as well in this investigation. And that's all I'm going to say. And City Attorney, please stop me if you feel that I have revealed too much. But again, Commissioner Russell, I would say, I think that this is a mistake. I know that Commissioner Barnes does not, he has many personal feelings. He, was in the mayor's race. He's had personal, feelings, and I have no hard feelings toward him. I'm sorry he hung up the phone. Again, I feel a deep commitment, a deep responsibility for the city. I know that Commissioner Friend and I have not seen eye to eye on many issues, and, Commissioner Friend is not running again right now. He's about to leave this commission. You and I and Commissioner Tender are here for a while longer. And what happens in the next few days and the next few weeks? I've been called upon to attend a meeting at Commissioner Gaynor's office in the next couple of weeks regarding our FEMA documentation, along with other mayors. And there are things that and I know that all of us here are aware that we have FEMA information that we must carefully monitor. I've been a part of that. And this week, I believe, is a time that, it is very timely that I make sure that what Mr. White was doing is what I believed he was doing. And I have to find that out. And, I'm gonna leave it at that. And so if you are still thinking that I'm just without words. I can't imagine. I'm not saying that these department heads and these city employees cannot do their jobs without the mayor sitting there. I just think they need to have a contact to go through to this commission and to go to Jay Moody and to go, for those of you who don't know, Jay Moody, he's our financial consult. They need someone in the next 48 hours, possibly I'm just saying a week. I wasn't asking to be made, the head of Lynn Haven forever. Just a week to make sure that our employees feel, and they may not ask me one question, they may not need any assistance from me, but they need to know that they have someone. And they can't contact all of us, because if we all start talking to them and emailing to them and talking, we can get out of the sunshine and have something else in this very dark moment for Lynn Haven. So, I'm not ready to give up my argument for this yet, and I have the deepest respect for you. We've been through a lot together after this storm, and this is a very difficult day. But without saying more, that's all I'm going to say on the matter, and I would appreciate your support very much.
Mayor?
Commissioner Tindra.
If I could just say this, or I wanna ask our city attorney, I guess, if we don't, do what you're requesting, and I'm all in favor of that, and something happens in the city in the next 48 hours, then who's responsible for that? Is the mayor held responsible?
It would fall to the department heads. That's their responsibility within their department. Obviously, this entire board carries responsibility for the governance of the city as a whole. But if there's not a city manager, the department head is responsible for the decision-making on a day-to-day basis.
And again, I have a lot of faith in our department heads for sure, but it seems like that's putting a lot of responsibility on their shoulders for 48 hours as well, not having anybody to go to.
And I think everyone's had their say at this point, so I'm gonna ask one more time if there's a motion, and if there's not a motion, I'll move on to the conclusion of the meeting.
Mayor, if I may, and I apologize if you feel like this is me not supporting you. I've got a renewed respect for you since the hurricane.
It's not personal.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
just, there's no personal
okay.
feelings. It's my
Okay.
strong feelings
Okay.
that the city workers, the city department heads need someone at this point in time. If Noah, and you're saying it's only 2 days, but it's the most crucial 2 days. Their city manager has been arrested. They need
Yes, ma'am.
someone to contact.
Yes, ma'am. Until he's adjudicated guilty, he is innocent.
I didn't say he was guilty, I said he's been arrested.
Okay.
So,
He's in custody.
Yes, ma'am.
He can't help them right now.
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor, I would just ask, are you not gonna be available?
Pardon me?
Are you not gonna be available tomorrow? if anybody-
I plan to be at my desk upstairs just like I always have been. I shouldn't use the word always, I'm not always at my desk. I'm often at my desk.
So you'll be available?
I will be available. But I would have, I will be available. Okay, there does not seem to be a motion, so therefore I will move to the conclusion of the meeting, and I thank you all for your consideration of my request. To the citizens of Lynn Haven, the public at large, city staff, all those involved, the city takes the allegations being made against Mr. White very seriously and is in the process of gathering information and conducting an investigation into this matter so that appropriate action may be taken. Upon the advice of the city attorney, I would ask that city staff and this commission refrain from making any further comments as to the allegations being made against Mr. White until the conclusion of such an investigation. For the residents of Lynn Haven, please know that the city will continue to operate as usual with our residents receiving the exemplary service they have come to expect without interruption. I'll be praying for all of those involved in this matter as well as our great city. And I would add to our department heads that, due to the feeling of the majority of this commission, that although I will be present, I will be certainly willing to offer my advice or my comfort or try to direct you in the right direction, but I will have no authority as far as anything that you would need to do as far as something that involves finances in particular. But I would hope that tomorrow we, or you, could have, a department meeting. So I think since the commission is not giving me the authority to say that, I would like to ask the commission if we could direct the department heads to meet tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock so that they could talk together about what their plans are. I know there's several things happening tomorrow. The splash pad is opening. There's construction going on at Sheffield Park. There are deadlines to be met for some of our FEMA financial affairs. There is a cleanup of all the ditches going on with Public Works. There's a map in place that we need to look at as far as the city of where we are on that. There are some remainders of our trash haulers who are no longer on the right-of-ways, but as far as I understand, they are still picking up from our dumping areas. There's a lot going on. And so I would hope that the commission would, maybe we could give direction together that the department heads would meet tomorrow morning. And I'm not sure who would be the moderator, but perhaps they can elect someone to do that for them. So could I have a motion possibly for that?
So moved.
Second?
Any further discussion? Mr. City Attorney, would you please call the roll? This would be a motion that the department heads, would you please meet tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock? And I'm sure that amongst yourselves, you can come up with a plan. I will be there and be available. I will not come into your meeting. I'll be at the desk. And if any of you have some questions, something that needs to be directed to the commission to get permission for some expenditure, something that you need to do to make sure things are moving smoothly, please let me know, and I'll make sure that we convene again if we need to before Tuesday. Mr. Albritton, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Tender,
Yes.
Commissioner Russell,
Yes.
Commissioner Friend,
Yes.
Mayor Anderson.
Yes. And with that, this meeting is adjourned. We will meet again at 4 o'clock on Tuesday. Thank you,
Are
ladies
y'all
and
taking
gentlemen.
public comment?
I'm not taking any public comment today.